This is Tutoring with Claire, and today we're going to be adding fractions. Before we jump into the video, if you're looking for an online maths tutor, please check out the description box below for my contact details. We'll start off with this example. So we're going to add two fractions that have the same denominator. So imagine we have a bar, and we're going to split that bar into 5 equal parts. So each of these equal parts represents 1/5 of the bar. So if we shade in this first part, that's going to correspond to 1/5. Now if we have another bar also split into 5 equal parts by shading in 2 parts of this bar, that represents 2/5 because we shaded in 2/5 of the bar. So now if we count how many fifths we've shaded in 3/5. So 1/5 plus 2/5 equals 3/5. As a general rule, when we add two fractions with the same denominator, we keep the denominator the same and add the numerators. Here are some examples for you to try. Feel free to pause the video here and have a go. I'm going to go through them now. So the first one, 1/9 plus 4/9, we keep the denominator the same, so the denominator is 9 and 1 plus 4 is 5. The second one, keep the denominator as 7, 4 plus 5 is 9. Notice that this is a top-heavy fraction, so the numerator is greater than the denominator, but that's fine. We can leave the fraction in this form, or we can change the fraction into a mixed number if you know how to do that. Either answer is fine. Finally, 1/12 plus 7/12, keep the denominator the same, add the numerators, so the denominator is 12, 1 plus 7 is 8. Now notice that 8 and 12 both have a common factor of 4, so we can actually simplify this fraction, dividing both the top and the bottom by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So we have 8/12 equals 2/3, and that is the fully simplified answer. Next, we're going to add fractions where the denominators are not equal to each other. So here we have 1/2 plus 1/4. Again, we're going to have a look at this visually. So we have a bar, and we split this bar into 2 equal parts. Now by shading in the first section of this bar, we're shading in half the bar. Now we're going to take another bar and split it into 4 equal parts. By shading in the first section, this represents 1/4 because we've shaded in 1/4 of the bar. Now clearly we can't just add how many sections we've coloured in again because the bars are different lengths. However, we can actually split the top bar into 4 equal parts, and now we can see that 2 of the quarters are shaded in. So if we count how many quarters are shaded in total, there are 3 quarters shaded in, so 1/2 plus 1/4 is 3/4. In general, we follow a 3-step process to add two fractions, which we're going to go through now. So again, we've got 1/2 plus 1/4. The first step is to find the lowest common multiple of the denominators. So the lowest common multiple is the lowest number that is a multiple of both 2 and 4. So here, 4 is a multiple of 2 and 4 is a multiple of 4, so the lowest common multiple of 2 and 4 is 4. Now we're going to convert both fractions into equivalent fractions with 4 as the denominator. So half with 4 as the denominator, to get from 2 to 4, we multiply by 2. So we're going to do the same to the numerator, so 1 multiplied by 2 is 2, so 1/2 equals 2/4. Now 1/4 already has 4 as the denominator, so we can just leave it as it is. Now we're back to what we know, adding two fractions where the denominators are the same. So we have 1/2 plus 1/4, and we know that 1/2 equals 2/4 from step 2, so this is equal to 2/4 plus 1/4. Now we keep the denominator the same, so the denominator is 4, add the numerators, 2 plus 1 is 3, so the answer is 3/4, which is what we have already worked out. Now we're going to go through some similar examples. Again, feel free to pause the video here and have a go at this by yourself. The steps are at the top just to remind you what to do. I'm going to go through this question now. So step 1, finding the lowest common multiple of 2 and 6. Well, here the lowest common multiple is 6. Next, converting both fractions into equivalent fractions, 1/2 with 6 as the denominator. To get from 2 to 6, we multiply by 3, so we're going to multiply the numerator by 3, so 1/2 equals 3/6. Now 1/6 already has 6 as the denominator, so we don't need to do anything to this. Finally, we have 1/2 plus 1/6. 1/2 equals 3/6, which we worked out in step 2. So this is equal to 3/6 plus 1/6. Then we keep the denominator the same, add the numerators, so 3 plus 1 is 4. So the answer is 4/6. However, you might notice that this is not fully simplified because 2 is a factor of both 4 and 6. So we're going to divide both the denominator and the numerator by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and hence the fully simplified answer is 2/3. Here is another example. Again, feel free to pause the video and have a go at this by yourself. So step 1, finding the lowest common multiple of 3 and 2. Here the lowest common multiple is 6 because 6 is a multiple of 3 and it's also a multiple of 2. Now converting both fractions into equivalent fractions. To get from 3 to 6, we multiply by 2. So we're going to do the same to the numerator. 1 times 2 is 2. Next, 1/2. To get from 2 to 6, we multiply by 3. So multiplying the numerator by 3, 1 times 3 is 3, and hence 1/2 equals 3/6. Finally, 1/3 plus 1/2, 1/3 equals 2/6, and 1/2 equals 3/6. So we have 2/6 plus 3/6. Keep the denominator the same, the denominator is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5, and hence the answer is 5/6. This is the final example that we're going to go through. Again, feel free to pause the video. The lowest common multiple of 4 and 3 is 12. So 1/4 as an equivalent fraction with 12 as the denominator. To get from 4 to 12, we multiply by 3, so we multiply the numerator by 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 2/3 as an equivalent fraction with the denominator 12. To get from 3 to 12, we multiply by 4, so we're going to multiply the numerator by 4, and 2 times 4 is 8, so 2/3 equals 8/12. Now the final step, 1/4 plus 2/3. We have 1/4 equals 3/12, and 2/3 equals 8/12. So keeping the denominator the same, we have the denominator as 12 and 3 plus 8 is 11, so the answer is 11/12. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helped. If you're looking for an online maths tutor, please check out the description box below, and if you have any suggestions for videos that you'd like to see in the future, please comment down below.